Hello and welcome back to ScreenBlue.com.
In this lecture, we're going to talk about the other types of method called accessor or getter method. So what is accessor or getter method then? Well, accessor methods provides access to object instance variable. So when we created a make, model, and year in our class, those are kind of like instance variable, right? So we wanted to have access to that instance variable from an object. You could do that using getter method. The accessor method is used to return the value of a private field. It follows a naming scheme prefixing the word get to the start of the method. So when you have a method name called get, and then you know it's a getter method. It's also one of the important method that you're going to use all the time in your real-time projects. Also called as getter method, it's used to get the value from the private variables used in the object. For instance, I've got this automobile class in here, right? I've got these three variables, make, model, and year. So now what I did here is I created a constructor, automobile. Okay, I know it's a constructor because it's the same method name as the class name, and I've got this three parameter, make, model, and year, just like we did in our last lecture. And here I've got this getter methods. How do I know it's getter method? Because it has this get. So now here, what basically you're doing is like for each variables, you're actually trying to get the value of it. Here I've got public string get make. Okay, so I'm trying to get the value from this variable make. So I created this get methods, get make, and it's actually going to return, as you can see here, right? This is a return type string. You can see here, right? String, public string get make. So you're actually returning a string, right? So this is a method with return type string. So we're actually getting back this string value. So we're actually going to say public string get make, and you're returning the make. This is this object here. And same thing, public string get model, and you're going to return the model. So from here, I can call this method to get the value of this make model. And in here, get year, right? I've got this. This is also a getter method because it has this get in the front. And in here, you're actually creating a getter method with this return type int, because this variable here is an int data type. And now I'm returning year, which is this one right here. So you create a constructor with three parameters, and you got the getter method for all this variables in here, right? And I got this instance method start. It's actually going to start. So it's a system.out starting, and you can do it in one line or you can do it in multiple lines. It's up to you. Then I've got this other class here, accessor getter method, and the main class in here. Okay, and I got this object Toyota, right? So here, what I did, automobile, and the object name is Toyota, and I said new automobile. And since, as you can see here, this class requires three parameters because it has this constructor that needs three parameters. That's why I need to put three parameters: make Toyota, RAV4, 2015. And now, if I want to get the make, model, and year, as you can see here, right in here, constructor method, I'm saying this make here, this dot make means this variable equals to this parameter. This dot model, this variable equals to this parameter in here, and this dot year equals to this parameter. So now if I do system.println car make is Toyota, right? This is my object dot get make. As you can see here, this is instance method as well, right? How do I know it's instance method? It does not have a static. Okay, so all the getters methods are the instance methods. Okay, so from here I can say Toyota get make, and it's going to give me Toyota. Okay, so Toyota.get model, it's going to give me RAV4. Toyota.get year, it's going to give me 2015. So when I do Toyota to start, it's going to say starting, right? So it's like in here, car make is Toyota, car make is RAV4, car make is 2015, and it's starting. So that's actually the getter method. You're actually getting the value. You're retrieving the value. The other method is setter method or mutator's method. Okay, so what is mutator's method then? Accessor mutator method are the accessor methods that provide access to the object instance variable. Also, it provides you access to set the instance variable. The mutator method is used to set the value of a private field. It follows a naming scheme prefixing the word set to the start of the method name. So before on the getter method you have a get, right? And the setter method you actually have a set. I'll give you an example in here. I've got this string make, model, year. I've got this constructor method here with these three parameters, make, model, and year. Right, and I did the same thing here. And so this dot make local variable equals to this one, this dot model equals to this one, this dot year equals to there. Right, so I got this getter method here, get make, get model, get year, just like we learned earlier. And I've got this setter method here. So public void set make. Okay, so what I'm doing here is basically I'm trying to change the value. I wanted to actually change the value of the make, right? And you can do that using set make method here. And now when you're setting it, you're not returning anything, right? You're just changing the value, right? So that's why it has a return type void. Okay, so public void, and you're just changing the value, right? Set make, and you're actually changing whatever you want, right? So it has one parameter make, and this dot make equals to this dot whatever make equals to this parameter here make. So actually, if you want to change the make of the car, right? So then you can use this set make. And the same thing here, set model, and I'm going to have the parameter model in here, and this dot model is this variable equals to whatever the new model value. And same thing in set year, int year, this dot year equal year. So with this instance method start, same thing like before. So now I created a Toyota object in here. Sorry, this should be Toyota, and I said car Toyota new car, just like we did before, right? Toyota RAV4 2015. And now if I do set make, right? So I call this set make, and here I'm actually going to change it to Toyota, right? So nothing really changing here. Now, and I do here set model, calling this one here, and I change it to RAV Prius V. Before here, right? So it has RAV4, and I'm now changing it to Prius V. And I set year equal to 2016. So before, right, when I created this object, I had this default parameter, Toyota RAV4 2015. With this set, I'm able to change the value. Well, I didn't change it here because Prius V is also a Toyota, right? So make is Toyota, and set model is Prius V. The model changed from RAV4 to Prius V, and the year from 2015 to 2016, right? Now, if I do get methods in here, so when I do Toyota get make, it's going to give me Toyota, right? Get model, it's going to give me Prius V, and get year, it's going to give me 2016. So that's how you can actually, to start, you can actually get time starting. So that's how you can actually create a setter method. So we learned about how you can create a getter method. We also learned about how you can actually get the setter method. So actually, let's try to write some getter and setter methods on our own. So I'm actually going to go back to our IntelliJ in here. All right, and we're going to create a new class in here, and I'm going to call it automobile. And in here, we're going to create a variable string make string model. Oops, and int year. All right, so now here it's going to be constructor method with parameters. So I'm going to say public automobile. Okay, I know it's constructor because it has same name as the class name. And in here, actually, I want to require 3 parameters: string make, string model, int year. So here, I'm actually going to say this dot make equal make this dot model equal model this dot year equal year. All right. So I got this constructor method, right? So here, I'm actually going to create a getter methods. So here, I'm actually going to do public string get make. Okay? So here, I'm actually going to do return the make, right? So get make means get the value of this make, right? So I can do that using get method here. This is get methods. Okay? And the same thing with the model, get model, return model. Public, this is going to be int because the year variable is an int data type. So I'm going to say get year, return year. So that's actually the getter methods, right? So now I'm actually going to create the accessor, the man method here that's actually printing that one, the getter methods. So I'm going to say accessor getter method. So here I'm actually going to create static void main string and args, and in here I'm going to say automobile equal a1 new automobile. So here I'm going to say Ford Taurus 2015. Okay, I created the object in here. So now I'm going to say here system.out.println a1.get make. I'm going to copy this to save some time. Okay, here. Oops, got model year, right? So if I do this, I'm actually going to get the Ford. This is from the get make, get model Taurus, get year 15. So how do I get this, right? Because whenever, as soon as I create this object, right, automobile, so here you have this local variable, and I'm actually saying this make equals to this parameter, this model equals to this. So this variable is, I'm actually when I created a default constructor, I'm actually referencing this one to this parameters in here, right? This one goes to here. So when I do get make, so as soon as I create an object, this make becomes Ford, this becomes Taurus 2015. So this make becomes 2004, this model becomes Taurus 2015, right? And here you're actually getting the value from this string and int value. So that's how you can actually do getter methods, right? And these getter methods are created all the time. As soon as you create an object, create a class and variables, you're gonna have to create getter methods. So now let's learn to try create some setter methods. I'm actually gonna create a car class in here, and to save some time here, I'm actually gonna copy most of the stuff here and just paste it there, okay? And here I'm gonna change it to car, right? So in here I've got this getter method, so let's create a setter method, right? So now here I'm gonna say public, and I know I gotta put void, right? Here, when I'm getting it, I'm getting a string value, but when you're setting it, you're not getting it, you're not returning anything, you're just setting it. Okay, so I'm gonna say set make, and in here you're setting it to new value, right? And this make is kind of like a parameter, so I'm gonna say this make again, or new make. So here I'm actually gonna say make equal new make. So what I'm saying is this make equals to this new make. Okay, I can say this one here. This dot make equals to this new make. I'm actually gonna copy this, and here I'm gonna say model, and I'm gonna say new model, and here goes same thing, new model, and here it's gonna be model, and here it's gonna be year, and the parameter is you're actually changing the year, so it has to be int as well. And I'm gonna say new year, and here it's gonna be new year, so this is gonna be year. So you can see here I got this three setter method, got this getter methods, right, that gets the value, and set means you want it to change to new value, right? Set. So here you're not actually returning anything, you're just changing the value, right? That's why it has the return type void. This one you're actually returning a string. When you do get make, you want a string value. Get model, you want to actually get a string value. This one here, you want to get the int value, right? Here you're just changing it, you're not getting anything. So now I'm actually going to create a new class in here. I'm going to say accessor setter method, and to save some time as well, I'm going to copy this and here, and I'm actually going to say instead of automobile, it's going to be car, and just make it C1, and here it's going to be same thing, car, and here I'm going to say making Toyota, I'm going to say RAV4 15. Okay, so C1, C1, C1. Okay, so if I just do this, right, I'm going to get Toyota RAV4 2015, right? So now if I set to new value, right? So I'm actually going to do C1 set make. Okay, so I'm going to make it still Toyota. Okay, C1 set model. Okay, I'm going to make it to let's say Prius V. C1 set year, make it 2016. So now if I call this one again, right? Let's get the value again. Alright, so now let's do this. So you can see here, right, when I create an object, when I try to get make, I get Toyota RAV4 15. So now I change the value to, the make was same here, they change the value to Prius V, right, and year 2016. So when I try to get the value again, so now it becomes Toyota Prius V and 2016. So here with get, right, I was getting the value, then I changed it with the set, then I bet to get the value again, right? So that's the power of getter and setter methods. You can set the new values, right? Let's say you don't want to change the, let's say for instance, you don't want to change this make. So this is, this is a Toyota, you don't want to change the make. Then in that case, you just don't provide the setter method. So now if you go into the setter method in here, it's gonna throw an error. When somebody wants to change that set make, they don't have this method name. So you're basically saying that, hey, you cannot change the make. You can change the model and the year, but not the make, right? So you can get the make, but you cannot change it, right? So you're kind of you're actually protecting your variables. We're going to talk about that in our future classes, but I'm just giving you an example why the getter and setter methods are very important. So that's it for this lecture. We learned about what getter method is, or accessor method is. We learned about the setter method or getter method is. And this methods, getter and setter methods, are going to be created all the time. So before I go, I also wanted to show you a very quick tips how you can actually create a getter and setter methods. So I'm actually going to delete this one here. So I've got this one, right? So what you can actually do is, you can see here, right? I've got string make and model. So if you right click on the IntelliJ, right? And you have this generate. Okay, this generate, so if you right click, you can have this generate option. So you click on that, then you can create a getter and setter method right here. So if I do getter and setter method, so let's say I want to create a getter and setter methods for all these three. So I select everything in here and see, boom, it creates the getter and setter methods for you, right? See, before I had to type it manually, now with this IntelliJ I was able to do this. Get model, set model, and sit here. So now you can just call those methods in here, right? So if I run this, it's gonna also work just like before. That's one of the very, very easy way to get getter and setter, but I also want you to understand what getter and setter method is before you use that option. Alright, that's it for this lecture. I will see you guys in our next lecture.